Week 3 Theros booster, Standard Pauper Seal League. I'm a little confused because I have two doubles in this pack. And that's very confusing to me because I can imagine getting a foil and having two commons, but with only 10 cards, you know, three commons or three uncommons and a rare, it's 14. There shouldn't be any repeats, but their program must suck that they're using the generator for, and I get, repeats, so it's kind of whatever. But let's look at these cards. Forest Warden, we already have one, it's not good. Prescient Chimera is actually pretty good, but blue is very low in playables, but they're both very good cards. They're great and sealed. Blue is considerable, especially since, boom, Gray Merchant number 2. That's really sick. I chose Theros this week mainly to try to hit Gray Merchant or Wingsteed Rider. Also happens that we hit Lash of the Whip, Freakus Cure, both very, very playable black cards. And Rage of Perfo is pretty good, but we have no reason to play red anymore. Our black is just much better. And these Feral Invocation Shredding Winds are pretty bad, so I don't like the green-white deck anymore. I like the black a lot, and we probably don't even need to splash green for Abzan Guide. We can just kind of keep our mana a little bit more consistent and play black-white. So here's the deck with our new cards, and we're utilizing our Black Devotion base a lot more now than we were before previously, because every black symbol counts a lot more now. So Covenant of Blood, Triplicate Spirits, those are all the same, but if you look at the rest, we get it Lash, keep our other two removal spells. Scholar's still good, but we get everything from both these 2/3s, double Freakus Cure, Sign in Blood, Walking Corpse, Flash on Say, double Child of Night. So we got a lot of black permanents, a lot of ways to gain life. Only one way to get ahead on cards. But any of these creatures, with charge, just seems very consistent now, and Merchant can end the game. Covenant Blood can end the game. The charges can end the game. So it seems good. Our mana's pretty sick. We barely need white anymore, and we really want double black. So we go up to 10 black, and the Evolving Wilds will most likely be a Plains. So it's like 10-7 basically. But yep, this deck looks pretty sweet. Now the other build I had just suited up just in case, and again, so we can sideboard into red white or black red or any deck we really want depending on what we see. But I thought black blue is worth considering and worth looking at, since the blue cards are all actually pretty decently powerful. We don't have that many of them, but we get a 3/3 flyer, a couple 3/4 flyers, which are all very good. Scrying when we cast spells is good. This thing is really good. It's another 5-drop though, so our curve's not the best. But we do have tons of things to do in the early game. Double Research Assistant will help us get to the late game. Got all the same black cards. Appeal for Malady, pretty good at stopping tricks from our opponent, but I don't think it's the best trick, except for when we're pouncing our own merchants, which is obviously pretty insane. Necrobite's one new card for this deck. We're not playing any Black Cats. I don't think it's super good. I'd rather have these guys. But Necrobite lets our choo-choos and stuff trade up, and not even trade, but just kill things. So Necrobite can kill some big creatures. March should get our merchants back, or even get anybody back. Yeah. So So this deck has some consideration as well. Other sideboard cards in blue-black. Chronostutter, Hydro Surge, Scaldkin, all not very good. Boon of Erebos, close to Necrobite. Necrobite, I'll take the higher, even though it costs more. Boon is just not as good because it can't kill things if they have high toughness. We don't really want to self-mill. I can see us losing a game by milling our merchants and stuff. So yeah, there's not much else in blue-black, so it's a little... Now, we could play these things too. I was actually debating that. But I figure we just have enough flyers and enough other... We don't... Like, the blue cards are just better. And fit the deck of, like, having tons of evasion. Ways to get in some early damage. Ways to race. And then just merchant them. So, yeah. So that's the deck. I was really close on actually playing this potentially blue-black deck, but... I mean, just look at this thing one more time. How can you not play this in a sealed? Like, look how good this deck is. How am I in the O2 bracket with this deck now? I figure whoever's going to play me is going to be really mad because my deck is pretty insanely good. Tons of removal, tons of life gain, good curve. Just all the best commons. All of them. Every single one. Alright, so hopefully we get there this week. I'll have the match coming up next.